What is going on, world? This is Nomar, and you are inside Dioko Podcast. Thank you. No applause, please. You're embarrassing me. Hey, listen, man. We have made our way into 2025. So first, let me start by saying Happy New Year, and here's to you. I want to start this podcast off by saying, before we go into the new year, before we decide that we're leaving this in the past, we're leaving that in the past, we're doing this, that, and the third, XYZ, and we ain't studying these people, we ain't studying those people, and so forth and so on. Before we get heavy into all that new year, new you, before we take on all the New Year's resolutions of losing 30 pounds in 15 days and all those things that we promise ourselves every single new year and do not do, let's actually take this year to do something different. What do I mean when I say that? Do something different. What I mean is, in 2024, we set out to do a lot of things. We promised to do a lot of things. You, me, and everyone else. And we did not get those things done. And the number one reason those things didn't get done is because we lack the discipline. We lack the consistency. We found reasons to not execute on a daily basis, and that cost us all the things that we wanted to do. So in 2025, before we make all these broken promises to ourselves, let's do this. Let's focus on strengthening ourselves mentally. Let's focus on strengthening our faith. Let's focus on strengthening ourselves physically. Let's focus on disciplining ourselves to do what we say what we're going to do, and execute at the highest level possible. Listen, it's a new year. Supposedly it's a new you. So if it's a new year and it's a new year, then let's do some new things, right? I know in 2025, I have goals. I have dreams. I have admirations. And I have a person or accountability partner to hold me accountable to those things. I have someone that is prepared to make sure I do what I say and that I do it the way I say I'm going to do it. Like, there is no reason to falter. There's no reason to fold. And in a year that's going to be very, very prosperous for me, there's no reason to famine, right? And my wish, my hope, my prayer is that you view those things the same way. I wish, hope, and pray that you too are putting your best foot forward, that you too are taking this time to figure out what you truly do need to leave behind. Not all the things that you want to blame for why you didn't get there. All the things that you did or did not do that caused you to get there. Those are the things that actually need to be left behind. Iron sharpens iron. I want you to look at who you can talk to, who you can go see, who can be the person that you need to hold you accountable, to keep you consistent, to keep you disciplined on the mission in which you're trying to go through. See, funny thing in life, I can think of several things that I wanted to do last year, and I can think of why they didn't get done. And a lot of the reason they didn't get done is because I found reasons to not do. I found opportunities to make it about something other than what it needed to be about. I found people, places, and things to blame my shortcomings or failures on. And what we will not take into 2025 is the excuse that it's someone else's fault, because no one's actually responsible for you but you. And I think we do a lot of blaming others. I think we do a lot of giving someone else the responsibility of our failures, right? And I don't want this year to be the year that we fail again because of it was someone else's fault. So the motto for this year has actually been hanging on the wall behind me. Hanging on the wall behind me. What did I say? Hanging on the wall behind me for, I don't know, since I put this place together, and it just seemed like cool little decorations or designs at the time. But we're going to look at it a little differently today. This year, we're going to grind, we're going to hustle, and we're going to execute. We're going to follow God. We're going to walk by faith. We're going to operate in purpose. We're going to stay the course and finish the mission. 2025 is a big year for everyone, right? Especially in America. America itself is going to experience a bunch of changes in this year. And I won't get into that. I won't dive into the political part of it. But we're going to experience some things, and we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do about it, or who we're going to be and what we're going to be and how we want to show up in the world. And that's the responsibility of each and every one of us. See, there's a way I need to show up in the world as a believer. There's a way I need to show up in the world as a father. There's a way I need to show up in the world as a husband. There's a way I need to show up in the world as a business person. And if the way I show up in the world doesn't align to those things, then what am I doing? Right? If the way I show up in the world doesn't feel right with my body, doesn't feel right with me spiritually, then something's going wrong. Something's not where it needs to be. Now stop and ask yourself, honestly, ask yourself, do you show up the way you would like to show up? Are you disciplined enough to be who you said you were going to be? Are you disciplined enough to be what you said you were going to be? Are you consistent enough for the world to know that you will do what you set out to do? Those are some questions just quick to ask yourself. And if you can answer those honestly, I think you'll find what you truly need to work on in 2025, right? I think in 2025, we need to be the best version of ourselves. I think in 2025, we need to dig a little deeper. We need to go a little harder, both on and off the court, right? You can't be a wonderful businessman and a crappy husband. You can't be great at work and a terrible father or mother or whatever, parent. And one of the things that I struggle with, one of the things I shared that I struggle with you guys was work-life balance. And what I learned was it's not actually work-life balance. It's work-life harmony. Like when you're at work, yes, you're at work. You got to do the things at work. But when you come home, you're not off work. When you come home, you're now got to take care of the things at home, right? So we have to adjust a little differently. We have to be a little different about that. And that's what I want to work on in 2025. If I'm being perfectly honest with you guys, you know, being an entrepreneur, a business person, and dealing with a lot of the things that I deal with, I leave the house in the morning, I go and I grind, I grind, I grind, I grind, I grind, and I get to the end of my day and my tank is empty. And then I come home and I just want to take a shower and go to bed. And well, that's not showing up as a father. That's not showing up as a husband. That's not showing up at all. Um, and I can't do that. I can't allow myself to do that. I gotta still have something in the tank so that I can be just as great at home as I am at work. Now I know a lot of you'll go, yeah, but you the man, you gotta go protect, you gotta go provide, you gotta do the things to make ends meet and make the money to feed your family. They won't remember what they had for supper, but they will remember all the moments you missed in their life. So spend time with your kids, spend time with your spouse. Make sure that you're in the places that you need to be in when you need to be there. Be 360. Be good in all aspects. Disciplined and consistent. Listen, it's 2025. I'm not gonna hold y'all long. I'm not gonna stay here too long. I'm not gonna waste y'all time. It's a new year. We gotta get grinding. And that's really it. I'm not even gonna hold you guys. This has been about, I don't know, 10 minutes, maybe a little over 10 minutes worth of talking, and I really already got my point across. So with that being said, listen, couple things that I have coming up this year. I have a couple different podcasts that I'm doing with a couple different people. I want you to be on the lookout for a podcast called Viewpoint, which I'll have some dope guests on there and we'll talk about a bunch of different things. We'll still do the Dioko podcast where I dive into a bunch of my personal stuff and just share that. There's also the podcast from my girl Stria, my sister Stria will be coming out. She got some really dope stuff. I'm not even gonna tell you the name of it. I'll hit you with it later. But she got some really dope stuff coming out on that. And then I'm for sure, I really can't promise you guys this one, but my cousin Jay Fever will have one coming out that's going to be really cool for the music industry. And I will work with and produce in all of those. So that's one of the things that I have going on. I'll definitely still be flipping houses and doing other ventures as well. But 2025, man, I'm expecting to be a big year. I'm expecting to be a good year. I'm expecting it to be prosperous. I'm expecting to stay faithful. And that's it, man. Listen, this has been the first episode, and I want you guys to hold me accountable because I get away from these, right? I want you guys to hold me accountable. I want to do at least one of these a month because I got a lot going on. But at least once a month, I want to sit down and have this talk. The Dioko podcast will start to bring in live audience, have people ask me questions, so forth and so on. And I'll gladly do those things as well over 2025. So be on the lookout. We got a lot of cool things coming. And we are out of here. Hey, you all have a great day. I want you to know I love you and be peaceful. We out.